Hunt is presented by the Canadian Coalition for Firearm Rights. The CCFR is Canada's gun lobby. Also brought to you by Vortex Canada, the force of optics. Prophet River Firearms, your source for Canada's finest firearms, optics, and accessories. Legal services provided by Loberg Ector, your complex commercial litigation experts.
Hey everybody, welcome to My Best Hunt. I'm your host, Rod Giltaca. Thanks for joining me again today on the show. We've got Alan Homer. How are you?
I'm good. Thanks for having me here, Rob.
Well, really excited to have you. You got a couple of great stories for us.
Thank
One
you.
that we're going to do in this episode, obviously.
Mm-hmm.
So just so people get to know you a little bit, just tell us a little bit about yourself and your channel and kind of what you do.
Okay, my name's Al Homer. I'm the creator of the YouTube channel BC Extreme Outdoorsman. I've had the channel for about 3 years, but I've been videoing my hunts for, I think, since 2010. I just had them all bundled up and didn't know what to do with them. So someone said, I'll start a YouTube channel. So I did. I also have social media, Facebook and Instagram, and both those names are BC Extreme Outdoorsman as well.
Awesome. Now, when we first started talking on the phone to have you come on the show, you told me the story about how you started or why you started filming your hunts. Why don't we kind of go through that? It's because it's pretty awesome.
Yeah. Well, I used to hunt with my uncle years ago, and he was basically my mentor in hunting, taught me everything in the backcountry kind of hunts. My dad used to hunt with me as well, but just day hunts. But me and my uncle, we used to go 2 to 3 weeks at a time for elk, and we'd spend all our time in tents together and stuff like that. So backcountry hunting, basically. And he showed me survival stuff and stuff like that as well. But when he couldn't go with us anymore, then I started filming the hunts, and I'd put a little DVD together for him so he could watch the hunts.
And that's how you got into it.
Yeah.
And then you were mentioning that you got some gear or an app or something.
Yeah, I had a Delorme InReach when they first came out in 2011. And at that point, you could hook it up so that connect a computer to it so that he could see your tracks and watch all your steps.
In real time?
In real time, yeah.
Okay.
And my aunt said he never spent any time on the computer until I left for that hunt, and he sat there and watched, and he could see all my tracks. And she said he remembered him yelling, "Right on, he got a ram," because I sent him a message saying ram down. And that was my first ram. And that was in 2011. This story is going to be about 2012.
That was a way for him to stay.
Yep.
To stay into it.
Yeah, he was really excited. He was the secretary of the Trap Club and Trail, and he used to bring my videos in and play them up for everybody.
So he's pretty proud.
Yes.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I miss him dearly. Yeah.
So he passed away.
Yes, in 2012.
Yeah.
Yeah, and when he passed away, it was actually Father's Day when he passed away. So it was a really tough time. But I asked my aunt if I could have some of his ashes. And she said, "For what?" And I said, and I wanted access to his reloading bench as well. And I made some, he shot a unique cartridge, it was a 300 H&H Magnum. Not a lot of people shot them. And I put some of his ashes in a bullet, and I pack them with me wherever I go hunting. And I ask him for advice and tell him to keep me safe. And so far, he's done that. There's only one hunt I didn't bring him on. I went to New Zealand in 2015, and I was scared they would take him away at the airport. So he didn't go on that one, but he's gone on every hunt since.
That's so he's still in the game.
He's in the game, and he's helped me out. I can feel it, and I know when he's there.
That's an awesome story.
Thanks.
All right. So what kind of hunt are we talking about today?
It's a stone sheep hunt in northern BC, 2012. It was a spur-of-the-moment hunt, no plans made. Just 2 weeks before, I seen my buddy Rob in the shop walking by. We're heavy-duty mechanics, and I just said to him, "Rob, want to go sheep hunting?" Because he had expressed interest before. And he's like, "Sure." So that was it. It was on. And we left. We did some, got things together from that point on, packed up and gear and everything else we needed, and planned a date to leave. We both got the holidays, so that worked out. And I think we went for 10 days, possibly 10 days.
It's a tough hunt.
It was a tough hunt. Yeah. It was tough for Rob. Yeah. You'll hear in the story coming up what his issue was, but he didn't tell me, which I just kind of shook my head at him. Okay, so July 30th, about 2 a.m, we had all our gear ready. I picked Rob up at his house, and we headed out for the long 17-hour drive to the trailhead. Drive was uneventful. Got to the trailhead. spent the night there. On the 31st, we started hiking in, and I'd only been in there once before. And then when we went in before, it was just a terrible hike, thick blowdowns, steep. It was a tough hike. I was told this time to follow the creek. So I followed the creek up, and it was a lot easier. And then we started, so when we get to where we got to hike up, that's our last water for about 8 hours. So we always guzzle a lot of water, probably a liter, and then pack an extra liter, just 1 liter, because our packs are probably 65 pounds, I believe they were, to start all our food and everything for 10 days. So we did that, and we started hiking, and the hike wasn't too bad. Went through this one opening that I knew we'd go through, and then you get into this area where there's tons of blowdown, and it's like, I remember the game Kerplunk, where you got to pull the straws out and the marbles fall down. It's from the 70s. I'm old.
Yeah.
But
I remember.
It was like that. And so if you get off the trail, you're going over, under, it's just hell. So we came off the trail a couple of times. The year before, we had ran into a guy named Mike that was solo hunting up there by himself with his dog, Sammy. And we ran into Mike coming out. And he had caught on the day before, but he forgot his medication down the trailhead, so he had to go down to go get it. So he left all his gear up there. I don't even think he had his rifle, just to go light and fast. And so he went to get that, and then we said hi and asked him if it was okay if we stayed in the same area we did last year with him. And he said, yeah, sure, no problem. Really nice guy. It's really hard to find guys like that. Mm-hmm. But anyways, so we kept on hiking, tough hike, finally broke out into the alpine. Probably had another 3 hours of hike from there up the ridge. As we're hiking, Mike comes up behind us and passes us, and he's older than me, and the guy's in crazy good shape. But we did have 65-pound packs. I don't think he even brought his backpack, I don't think. So he just
you were camping on the mountain.
Yes.
And then he didn't.
He left all his stuff up there because he'd already been up the day before.
Right.
And he just forgot his medication, so he had to just run back down to his truck and just grab a little bottle of pills. Yeah. So I think he had a water bottle, that was it. And Sammy had his vest with maybe some food for him in there and a snack. So anyway, so we get up to the top there, and just as we get to the top, Mike's there, and of course, it starts raining. So we just basically hunkered down in our tents and had a mountain house. Remember, it was lasagna. And sent a message to our friends and family on the inReach, and went to bed. Next morning, we woke up, had about, I don't know, maybe a half an inch of snow on our tent, windy all night. And so we just stayed in camp for the morning. We did go to the end of behind the tents, look down this ridge. We seen one ram down there, but it was foggy. It wasn't legal. We knew that, but there could have been more with it, but the fog came in. There was no point. So that afternoon, we hiked up the mountain. The weather got a little better. And Mike was already out. He left maybe a half an hour before us with Sam. And we went to this one spot, and we spotted, I think, 9 rams. Nothing good, but we watched them for a bit. I mean, we couldn't really go farther up the mountain because the fog was really high. So we ran into Mike, and he had seen the rams as well and not seen any other rams. So that was that night. So the next morning, I believe we were rained in all day, just about. So then the next day after that, we went out in the afternoon again because the morning was no good. And we met up with Mike and said, well, we may as well sit here and glass together. Well, the fog raised, and I spotted, I think, about 24 rams coming up the mountain on the other side. And there's like 3 good ones in there. So Mike looked at me and said, you and Rob should go over and get one. And I said to Mike, I said, why don't you and Rob go get one? I shot a ram last year. I know you shot one too, but you really like the meat. I'm just here to help Rob get one. You go over there with Rob and get one. He goes, well, I don't know what to do with Sammy. And I said, well, leave Sammy with me. If he's good, he'll be fine. So they took off. They got to the bottom real quick. It was steep, and it's just scree. So they just slid to the bottom, hiked up, and they got right in the rams, and I'm watching. I'm going, holy cow. They're all around them, eh? I hear a shot. I see some rams run. I hear another shot, and I watched a ram drop. And the pack pretty much split up. Half went up, half went down the ridge. And so it was 8 o'clock at night. I talked to them on the radio. it was raining. I didn't have a flashlight. So I said, I'm going to go back to camp with Sammy. And they said, come back at 1 a.m. So I go back to camp, have a quick mountain house. And
so you're wandering around in the mountains at 1 a.m. kind of thing.
I went back up at about 12 o'clock for an hour hike in the dark. It's raining so hard. Couldn't have my glasses on because of all the rain on them. It was foggy. So I just had my GPS, didn't even turn on the flashlight. And I just hiked up to them, called them on the radio, managed to get them. They said they hadn't even been to the bottom yet. And I said, well, I'm going back to the camp and I'm going to bed. And that's pretty much what I did. When I got back to camp, I took the pack off Sammy, was drawing my rifle. Sammy's gone. I'm like, oh no, Sammy's gone. Sammy, where are you? I go look by his tent. He's in the vestibule sleeping. And I said, good boy, stay there. And then I went to bed. So the next thing I knew, I heard the guys coming into camp and I looked at my watch. It was 5 a.m. Those poor guys hiked all night and they were dead tired. So I hung around in camp with them for a bit, admired Mike's ram, and basically just hung out in camp. They didn't go to bed. So around noon, I thought I was going to head up the mountain and go do some glassing. And I told him I was going to do that. And Rob's like, well, I'll come with you. I'm like, aren't you tired? Don't you want to have a nap? He's like, nope, I want to go. I said, okay. So we go up there and right off the bat, I spot, I think, a dozen rams. And there was 2 good ones. And we watched them for quite a while. We put them to bed. We even watched the 2 rams. We ended up getting butt heads, which was kind of cool. But so we put them to bed. We went back to camp and had a bite to eat. And then first thing in the morning before daylight, we headed out. Got to the glassing spot at about, I don't know, just before daylight. So it must have been around 5 o'clock in the morning. And we spotted the rams in a better spot, a doable spot. Like it was perfect. So Mike had come with us because he had left some of the meat from his ram in the creek in Ziploc bags and he wanted to retrieve it. So he hiked to the bottom with us with Sam. And Rob and I start hiking up. We had a plan where we're going to go and it worked perfect. We get up to the ridge top and we just peeked over top and there were the rams all bedded there. Some were bedded, some were standing. They didn't know we were there. And it was like 9:30 in the morning.
About how far? 400
yards.
Okay.
It was perfect. Yeah. And it was sunny and there was very little wind. So right away I seen the, so I said to Rob before we even went on the hunt, I said, you can shoot first because you haven't shot a ram. I said, but if you miss, then I'm going to shoot first. So I said, so you missed the other day, hey? And he goes, yeah. I go, you know what that means, right? And he goes, yeah. He goes, you shoot first. I said, yeah. I said, but I'm a really nice guy. I said, I'm going to let you have a redemption shot. You can have first shot again. He's like, okay, thanks. I said, so anyways, back to the story. I showed him what ram was his. It was a 10-year-old ram, well past the bridge of the nose. I said, that's your ram. I said, go down there about 20 feet, build yourself a good position, no ammo in your gun, and just dry fire on that ram until I tell you to shoot. I said, because I'm going to judge another ram and make sure it's legal. Well, probably about 45 minutes go by and Rob's going like this. He's really anxious to shoot, eh? And I'm like, just 1 minute, eh? And then everything just came to the ram that I was looking at. Turned out to be 8 years old and he was past the bridge, but because of the angle, he was really close. He was a heavy ram, but the sun hit the horns perfectly and I could count every annual and I counted 8 and I knew he was legal. So I nodded to Rob. Rob took a shot, hit his ram. My ram stood up. I hammered my ram, recovered from the recoil. I was shooting a 33-78 at the time, so you can't spot your hits. I just seen a ram rolling down the mountain, and that one was mine. And Rob's ram was running towards us, and he put another shot in it and finished it. So that was that. Rob had his ram, I had my ram, and now we had a hell of a pack out. It was 10 o'clock, 10:30 in the morning. So we went and took pictures, congratulated, hugged, whatever. And then processed the rams. We each took everything from our rams that we could, all the meat, everything. Our packs were probably close to 100 pounds. So we thought, let's go straight down. So we go straight down and we just ran into the worst stuff you can think of. And we couldn't get across the creek because there was a cliff. We were going through these juniper bushes that were just, it was terrible. So by the time we got to the creek, I can't remember, it must have been around 1:00, had rehydrated, had a drink, and then we had to head straight up. And it was a long ways up. So it was so steep that we had to walk in the creek, because if we walked on the sides, we'd take 2 steps up and we'd go 3 back. So we got back to camp, I think it was about 9:30, 10 at night, and relaxed the next day. And it was a beautiful day too. We caped the rams and stuff like that. And then the next day we hiked back out to the trailhead, and Rob kept lagging behind me, and I couldn't figure out why. He's 14 years younger than me. And I didn't say anything. I'd go ahead and say, Rob, this is the way, it's good to go. So we got down to the trailhead. I said, are you okay? He goes, yeah, and I'm fine. Didn't complain once. Takes off his shoes. Or his boots, takes his socks off. I look at his feet, and they are just pure blisters. And I'm like, dude, why didn't you tell me? I said, remember the deal? You carry the stove. I carry the first aid kit. I got everything in there to take care of that. But he never said nothing and never complained once.
Just bared it.
Just bared it. And for the next year, he had a brand new pair of boots.
Yeah, I'll bet. That's one place you don't scrimp is your boots, right?
Yeah, well, like I say, 2 weeks notice that we're going on a sheep hunt. He didn't have a chance to get new boots. We learned a lot from that. And we learned a lot from each other on that hunt. It was an awesome hunt.
Well, you can learn some hard lessons on a sheep hunt.
Yes, for sure. And what it's like to spend 24 hours or longer in a tent.
So, as I understand it, you got 3 guys. Everybody gets a ram.
Yep.
Nobody went home empty-handed, which is great.
Yeah, that's very rare.
You have some brutal pack-outs.
That happens when you sheep hunt, yes.
And you have some massive blisters.
Rob did, yes. Rob, he sure did, yeah. No, it was a really good hunt. Big thanks to Mike we never met. I met Mike the year before, but we ended up actually hunting together, and it was great. And I still keep in contact with him today, and he's a great guy. Rob and we just clicked as hunting partners. We've been hunting together now for 11 years, I think.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. He shot 4 rams, and I've shot 4 rams. Plus the one Mike got. I think in total I've been in 11 ram kills in my life. It's very tough hike. It's not for the faint of heart, that's for sure. You challenge yourself in so many ways by sitting in a tent for 24 hours without getting out, laying down, not sitting up, hiking up to 25 to 30 kilometers a day, up and down, nothing flat. I'll tell you one thing I really miss when I am out in the bush for that long is a chair, just something to lean back on. Mm-hmm. They do have stadium chairs that you can pack, but it's extra weight, and you got to cut corners where you can. You don't want to be packing lots of stuff with you.
So is that why you enjoy sheep hunting so much? It's just because it's such a challenging...
It's challenging. It's awesome. I love watching the sheep. It's almost like they got their own personality when you watch them for a while. They're very good eating. They're very tender. They taste very good.
Oh, okay. That might lure me out there, but I'll be discouraged by all the work.
It's a lot of work. It's a lot of work. Like the last hunt I went on, I lost, I think it was 13 pounds in the one trip. We had to spend 2 nights away from the tent without no sleeping bag or nothing. And we didn't even have food, just like no dinner. We just had whatever we packed for us for the day, snacks and a lunch. That was it, a bagel with peanut butter and jam.
Yeah. Yeah, well, it was at least that's light.
It's light, yeah. But I got so many stories I could tell you.
So, well, I'm sure we're going to hear more in the future anyway.
I hope so, yeah.
So just before we end off, where do people find your work again?
BC Extreme Outdoorsman on YouTube and Facebook and Instagram as well. And I do get lots of people that send me instant messages and email me, and I love the comments as well. So don't feel like you're bothering me, because you're not.
Well, that's awesome. You still have the time to answer comments.
I do. I know. I'm hoping for the day when I don't.
Yeah. Well,
so subscribe, please.
Yeah, it comes around and then you'll be sorry.
Yes.
So awesome. Well, that's a fantastic story. I really appreciate you sharing it with us.
Thank you. I really appreciate you giving me this opportunity to be here. Thank you.
Awesome. Thanks, Al.
You bet.
If you'd like to be a guest on My Best Hunt, email us a link to your video at show@mybesthunt.ca.
You hammered them down. Look what we found, guys. We got the moose.